Hello there, very good afternoon to you. How are you today? Now, we're going to be talking piping shortly, as promised. I'm going to make a piped cushion cover. I've just remembered I forgot to bring a zip down.
Would you like a zip?
I'd like a zip, please.
Any colour?
Yes, I'm going to make it in that colour green.
Oh, a purple one.
So if you don't, and quite long. So something green or white or cream or grey.
That one, right.
Thank you. Anyway, oh, hello everybody. Hi Lisa. Not too good, Cheryl. I've got a stinking cold. Hi from Hornsey, Elizabeth, Fairstone, Angela. Hi Nancy. She's back, she says. We missed you. I can't see anybody on Facebook yet, but I know you're there. Hi Jane, Cheryl, Darlene, Karen, Bridget and Sheila, Sarah, Pat, loads of you there. I'm just going to refresh Facebook because normally leave me some comments by now. And I'm sure there's more than 17 of you there. So how are you? Let me just move that out of the way. What have you been up to since we had a chat on Sunday? What have I been doing? I have been doing a bit of sewing. I've got the next project for the Half Yard Club done and dusted. And I started on next month as well, so I'm nice and early with that one. And done my next episode for Sew Magazine. Oh, there you are on Facebook. I knew you were there, really. Now I can't scroll up and down. I had a bit of an issue with servers this morning, so I'm hoping it's all going to go to plan. Right, Catherine, Pamela, Raina, hello, and Kate, and Betty, and Geraldine, and Carol, and Shelley, and Susan, and Jackie, and Jean, and Rosina. Got a new on the 570 coming tomorrow. Congratulations. Hi, Sue. Green's lovely, isn't it? I'm going to do cream pipe. Oh, I did bring that down. Cream piping with it. So a little bit all over the place. Do excuse me if I have to blow my nose every now and again. I'll try and mute my mic so it's not, so you don't hear that. It's not very good. Hi Sharon, Kirsty, Jan, sorry if I miss anybody. Hi Andrea. Yeah, it's not so bad. People have worse things. I haven't had a cold for years. Hi Patrice and Isle, is that a lovely name? Greetings from Antwerp in Belgium. It's the first time to say hello to you. Is it Isle? Is that how you pronounce your name? Thanks Helen. Hi Angela. You loving the hat? I was going to show you the hat because Kim's up at the moment and this is what she's made today. Because she's going on her old, well, she's actually going to a wedding. She's going to be a bridesmaid to a best mate in 2 weeks' time in Italy. So she's busy shopping for tankinis at the moment, but she made the hat this morning, and it's using, I'll show you those in a sec, the Hannah's Flowers fabrics, but she's patchworked it. Still got to sew the turning gap. I pinched it off her before she'd finished. And this way round, she's added piping, which I thought was a lovely idea, and I wish I'd have thought of it myself. Let me just move you so I can see what I'm doing. That's better. I should be there, shouldn't I? Yeah, I've never thought about doing that with the hat before, but I think it works really well. And this side of the fabric is the new stretch denim that we've got, that is literally going on as we speak right now. There we go. But it's lovely, isn't it? I do like a bucket type of hat. So yeah, pinch that off her. And that Hannah's Flowers fabric, it just goes with the cream of the, oh that's nice as well, doesn't it? Goes with the cream of the denim really, really well. Kirsty's just finished work. Hello Jan. Hi Penny. It's a lovely hat. Oh good, Karen. Orally, hello from North Central Ohio. Hello to you. Right, okay. I have got new fabrics to show you. We have we've had deliveries over the last couple of days. When do we not? So I'm going to scroll down on Facebook. So I will try and switch the sound off if I'm going to sneeze or anything like that. It's quite bad really, isn't it? I remember getting sent home. I never, all the time I was at Ideal World, and I was there for I think 12 years in total. I never took any time off apart from maybe a couple of weeks of holidays, and I never had any time off ill. And I actually went to work ill once and I got sent home because I was uncomfortable viewing. Let me know if I'm uncomfortable viewing and we'll finish early. Oh, Nancy made a tiny bucket hat for a Wendy doll. A Wendy doll. What's a Wendy doll? Is that like a Barbie or a Cindy? Is it that tiny? I do have a cold, Megan, yes. Maybe! I never thought about that because he was rather snotty while he was up, wasn't he? I shall blame Finn, my grandson. Thank you, Irene. Oh, I need a bit of joy today. Oh, hang on a minute. I missed that, Sylvia. Let me go back a little bit because Sylvia needs a little bit of joy. So we'll see what we can do. There we go. Need a bit of joy today. I'm in hospital tomorrow for a small op. Oh, you'll be fine. Can we send out good vibes to Sylvia for a op tomorrow? And you'll be out by Saturday, so let us know how you got on. Let us know that you're all right by then. But we're thinking of you. Oh no, Lois's greyhound has had the last of his teeth out. Oh, she's much happier now. Oh, thank you. Oh, perfect. I didn't know I got those. What? She says, wish they made doggy dentures. I'll be having the last of my teeth out soon. Thank you, Sue. Sorry, that was your comments for Sylvia. Are you sure it's not hay fever? I don't think so, Sarah. I don't know, it just feels like a cold. I'm all coffee and headachy and feel like I've been beaten up a little bit. Alex just had a tooth out, so he'd like a shout out. Alex has had a tooth out. Just the one, Alex. Hope you're not being a baby. I'm having 3 out next week. But I hope you get better soon. You've been really busy, haven't you? Been watching you on LinkedIn. Feel like you should be resting. I for one would understand if you need some rest. I'd rather be here, Peggy. It takes your mind off it, doesn't it? Besides, we're doing piping. Can't let you down. Thank you, Irene. Hello, Maureen in Portugal. Karen did an order today. We'll be doing those tomorrow, actually. Now then, we've got some new art gallery fabrics. I love this fabric. It's like Lewis and Irene. It's just when you get a really top end fabric in, it's gorgeous. And this is called Willows, and it is a whole collection, but we haven't bundled it all together, so it's all by the half metre. I can't remember what they're called individually because they've only just gone on today. Only arrived this morning. Anyway, they've only just gone on, so I haven't remembered the names as yet. But so if you have a look on the website under new in, I think I need to move my table a bit. Gary, I think I need to move my table a bit. I'm reaching over. Then do take a look on the new in and you'll find them all there. If I go silent for a minute and blow my nose, okay, just switching you off. And making no apologies for my nose getting redder and redder throughout the hour or so. Look, it's got swans on it, isn't that pretty? So again, this is all willow. I love the colours. I love the teals and the mustards together. I think they just look beautiful. And this one's upside down. Owls. I could have a look at what they're called actually. Pretty though, isn't it? Just really lovely colours. Love owls. Owls never go out of fashion, do they? There's always owl fabric available somewhere. And then castle. I'm going to have a look actually and just see what these are called, if you bear with me a sec. Here we go. Oh no, that's Hannah's Blooms. So basically, if you go onto the website, if you're on your phone, and go onto let's go onto menu, go onto fabric. Let's go onto all fabrics. So it should be there right at the top. And there we go. So let's go down. These are all new. Show those in a sec. So the one with the swans in was Rosewater Ballet with swans. And what's that one? The owls is just called Owl Things. Floral. This one is Rural Idyllic Castles. And then we have Entwined Echo Flowers. They make a beautiful quilt, wouldn't they, if you piece them all together? And again, they're all by the half metre, so if you wanted to make something larger, or if you're dressmaking, then just order the amount of units that you need. So if you wanted a metre, you need to order 2, basically. and this one is Flora and Fauna Treasured. So that's the Art Gallery Fabrics ones. I think my Facebook's frozen again. I'm not getting your messages up as quickly as normal. Oh, thank you. I will be fine. Oh, you're nice. Oh, morning, Renee in Nevada. I drink green tea and haven't had a cold since. I get well soon. It's years, honestly, years since I've had a cold. I've forgotten what it feels like. Anyway, don't need to worry about my problems. Also, I had a moment of excitement when these arrived, because I've said before, I don't know what's coming, because Kim does all of the ordering. I love canvas fabric. I make a lot of bags, you may have noticed, and canvas is my fabric of choice. Although I'm going to be making the piped cushion cover in canvas, in the green canvas, and I wish I'd have seen this first, because I would have made it in this. So we have, oh, again, can't remember what it's called, hang on a second. Well, we go back and have a look. Deluxe Soft New Wildflower Springs Natural Look Canvas. So it's not a canvas like you'd expect to, you know, put in a picture frame. It's not really heavy, but it is really lovely quality. So for upholstery or anything like that's perfect. But you just notice, look, it's got like little skeletons of leaves in the background. That's really pretty. And we've got a red canvas as well, which matches perfectly with the flowers. Sorry, I switched it off because I was coughing and I switched it back on again. I was just reading your comment, Lisa, about fostering being rock and roll. Still not getting messages very often on Facebook. I don't know what's going on there. I'm still at Marina in Portugal, and we must have some more comments since then. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to put the sound back on again. I did warn you if I was going to have a cough or a sniff, I'd mute the sound because it's not very nice to listen to. So that's what I did, and forgot to put it back on again. Right. Oh, now that how many of you, Megan included, have been asking for Jubilee Fabrics? We have Jubilee Fabrics. Only arrived this morning, and we've got 3 designs for you. Oh gosh, I've left that one down there as well. If anybody's watching in the house, I forgot to bring the Union Jack panel. I might text my daughter actually, because I really wanted to show you that, because I don't think they'll last very long. So just bear with me for 1 second while I could you text Kim, bring the talk to my shelf Union Jack panel, please. Kiss. Anyway, got on the hot lemon and the honey for that cold. See, my friend Melissa said it should be gin. I'm just going to refresh Facebook because I'm not seeing anything with your comments moving. It's right. Do you know, Leanna? My son and his girlfriend were going to go out and have a barbecue type picnic, and it was lovely weather, beautiful sunshine and everything, sitting outside without your coat on with her. Then all of a sudden it's rainstorm. Oh, we're back again. I've probably missed loads of your sound, loads of sounds. So I'm just reading Connie's message. Sorry if I missed all of those. Oh, hi Wendy. Hi Angie. Hi Anne. Hi Jill. I know. Hi Lois. Hi Connie. Yeah, I've seemed to. Oh, hi Mary. Seem to have missed a load of comments. Doing fine, thank you, Lois. Anyway, let me show you this. This is like breakfast tea for the red, white and blue. So you've got biscuits and teapots and teacups. It's poplin, so it's wider than normal as well. And oh, thank you, hun. I'm Forgetting so many things. Thank you. Yeah, and it's huge. So if you're making tablecloths, if you're making bunting, if you're making yourself a waistcoat, anything like that, then this is going to be perfect for the Jubilee. But of course, you know, if you're British, we're British all year round. not just for Jubilees, we're always British. Now let me show you this big panel that Kim's kindly brought down for me. Gargle with salt and hot water kills all the germs before your throat gets bad. Oh, Peggy, I was dreading that. It's nose and head that's bad at the moment. Anyway, there's people worse. Been making bunting flags all day, has Pat. Look at this. Are you ready? This is huge. There are actually 9 flags on here. So it's just under 1 metre in length and over 1 metre in width. So you could either use this for a tablecloth, again, join a few together. These are pre-cut panels. It's not, you know, you can't buy meterage of it. They are all pre-cut panels. But I wanted to show you, because when we got it home, or when it arrived, Kim said, that doesn't look like a Union Jack. Because we were looking at that. And that doesn't look very much like a Union Jack, but that's not the Union Jack. When you get it home, that is the Union Jack. So there are 9 on there, but you're going to have to, if you're going to cut them out individually, you need to cut along the white bit. Because I did waste a little bit, because the first thing I did was cut a piece straight along here, and it's not. So there's kind of if you move that over there, that is your Union Jack. And you'll have nine pieces that look just like that. Thank you, Jenny. So you're taking my mind off it. So, but I couldn't just not turn up. I tried to. If I'm not going to be here, I'll try to give you as much notice as I can. And I still get some people saying that they were waiting. I thought I'd be a bit guilty, so I couldn't let you down. Rest, and definitely no hoovering. Do you know, Sophie? I can't remember the last time I did. I've got a very good husband. So I might show you that again later on. I'm not sure if we can get any more. I have a feeling they're going to go straight away. But I'm sure Kim's going to be on with it. And this one is really nice. I'll just shove my chair up a little bit. I need to move my table. It's got stamps all over it. So again, it's all patriotic and everything because we're all covered in the Queen, but not necessarily Jubilee. If you just like the print, that doesn't just have to be for the Jubilee. Oh, I got your email, Lisa. Thank you. I'm glad you liked your parcel. Make lots of money out of it. I'm sorry, your messages on Facebook keep freezing, so I'm probably way behind and not answering all of your questions. I am sorry. I'm on Lois at the moment, which was from quite a while ago. I want to refresh you again. Yeah, Gary was saying actually, years ago he saw a fabric with stamps on in pastel colours, very similar to this, and he was going to recover a chair in it. You wouldn't recover a chair with this; it's cotton, not canvas. But it'd make nice cushions, wouldn't it? And there's so many different colours you can mix that with. More newness now than if you. This isn't just for making the half-yard skirt. Has anybody made that, by the way? The skirt for this month's half yard. Just have a look at that a second. From this month's half yard club, because the fabric that I made a second skirt out of is back in stock. It's called Roses on Sky Blue, I think, can't remember, but that's sold out, but we have now got that back in stock and twice as much as we had before. But Kim ordered this for you as well, and I'm going to make a skirt out of this because this is just my kind of fabric for a skirt. It's got the black background and it's got really pretty flowers on it, so definitely one that I'm going to be making. And I tell you what, I might try this time, using 2-inch wide elastic. I use 1 inch on the skirt and in the pattern, but I'm going to try 2-inch with this one and make a really nice deep waistband on it. Might make it into a maxi as well, make it a little bit longer. This is a creped sheen, so I think it's a polyester. I can double check that if I have a look onto the website, which isn't going on. Oh, need some advice from you. With this skirt, it is a crepe de chine, but it's a polyester, and I found it got a little bit static. I know tumble dryer sheets work, but I don't very often use them. I have tried that before and that worked really well. And it does work if I wear an underskirt with it. But what do you do to stop static on your clothes? Or I tell you what do you do to stop static on your hair? Because that happens to me a lot. You're kind of, I don't know what it is. Some conditioners do it, but some just... Connie got Kim's messenger by download and wonder if the webbing and the clasp is a navy blue. Yes, it is. Yes, it is on both those at the back of me there, Connie. The stamps are nice, aren't they? Avoid plug socket. I'll stop sticking my fingers in plug sockets, Lisa. That's a good one. Yes, Alice, we have, just for you, the half hexy download. Just went on yesterday. Sorry it took so long to get there. It's quite involved because there's, we don't just type something onto a Word document. It is actually designed and put together, and we had to have a 2 1/4 inch hexagon template made up for it as well, because the original kit came with a plastic template. So as a download, you don't get a plastic template. Obs. Pat says the stamps are very nice. If I get rid of these tips that keep popping up on Facebook, maybe that would allow me to see some more of your comments. Maybe not. Because I'm electric, says Bonnie. Actually, I get shocks off bobbing quite a lot. Go stroke sometimes, you get a little shock off her ears, don't know why. Tumblr dry sheet on a brush and brush hair, no statting. Yeah, I have tried that, Angela. I was going to say the Bernadette. That's the next message. But I don't always have tumblr dry sheets in. A mist of hair gel or hair lacquer. Would that work on the skirt as well, or is that just for your hair? So I do like, we're live for a reason, so we can have a chat together. So it's a bit frustrating when I can't see your comments on Facebook. So I'm sorry if I miss anybody. They're just not scrolling as they should do. Hairspray underneath, Janek. I shall try that. Water softener stops static on your clothes. And a hairbrush you sort of stack it in your hair. See, Megan? Beautiful dress you made, by the way. You look really gorgeous at that wedding. Use conditioner. Always use conditioner. The hat was for the... Oh, sorry, Nancy. The Playhouse Wendy. That would have been a tiny one. I made this skirt for my daughter Beth. Took me 1.5 hours. It is an overlock. It is a really quick skirt, isn't it? So, Kerry's ordered the Union Jack. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be lasting too long. What fabric is the bag download made from? Is that the one with the feathers on? It's the project is quite a few months old, so we don't have the fabric anymore, I'm afraid, Alana. No, Laura, didn't make the top. Although it's very similar to the batwing top, but I didn't make this one. A spray to spray in your clothes from Betterware. Not sure if it's still get. I should look at that. Spray your hairbrush with hairspray and brush it through. Oh, Jill, it's all right. I'll get over it. Hand cream seems to stop static. Oh. I didn't even notice that, Lois. Is that what they are? 3.5p, 7p. They're all into 10p stamps. That's a bit of nostalgia, isn't it? A couple of metal safety pins in the hem of the skirt. Really? Oh, I'll try that, Nancy. That's an easy one. In America, we have a product called Static Guard that you spray on fabrics. Anne-Marie's got her Jubilee Fabrics. Well done. Laura's back from Tenerife tomorrow. What else have we got? We'll do some sewing in a minute. Would the skirt work with jersey? I've not tried it with jersey, to be honest, Denise, but I don't see why not. And I don't think you'd need to cut it on the bias. Maybe cut it on the bias just to be sure, but I haven't actually tried it with jersey. Right. One more to show you, and this is a back in stock, but it's been quite a long time since you've seen it. But I thought this would be another one that would make a nice skirt. And this again is a crepe de chine. So crepe de chine has like a texture with it, and it's got it's upside down. little birds all over it. I don't know if you remember, I made the reversible kimono jacket from the Half Yard Club out of this fabric. It was really nice, but it's been a long time since we've managed to get it in stock, but we have got it now. There we go. Okay, shall we do a bit of sewing? We're going to do some piping and make a cushion cover. I have a 14-inch cushion pad, and I don't know if you I like my cushions to be nice and plump, so I like the covers to be tight. So I've cut my fabric to 15 inches wide. I'm going to use cream fabric that I've already, actually didn't cut it, I ripped it into strips, and the 1/4 inch piping. And I'm going to use the green canvas for the cushion cover. So what I'm going to do is, see if I can move all of this closer to me while you're there. Back a little bit. That's better, isn't it? Actually, not a lot. I've got carried to move the camera. I didn't need it to go that way, doesn't it? Let's move it that way. Bear with me while I readjust my set. If everything falls on the floor, then I may well have to go. That's a little bit better. Right, oh, hello Tina, first time watching live. Hello, and thank you. Hello Amanda. Let me refresh Facebook again. We're doing piping today, Amanda. On the Wednesdays I'm going to try and do some techniques rather than so many projects. But by the time I put the piping on this, I may as well just make up the whole cushion cover anyway. So we do have a project, but it's more about the techniques of the piping. I've cut my fabric to 15 inches wide, and I'm going to be using about a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so the cushion cover should end up at 14 inches, the same size as the cushion. If you like your cushions a little bit flatter, then I'd maybe add 1.5 inches, maybe add a little bit more so the cover's looser on yours. Chris Ann's waiting patiently for a parcel. May take a while to get to the States. On its way, Chris. Sula's the fabric. Alana's getting a pink parcel tomorrow. You get a big pink parcel tomorrow, Alana. A wire hanger under the fabric. Really, Laurie? We'll have to try that one. Hairspray under your skirts. Okay, so that's what I do with size-wise. Width-wise. Length-wise, these are cut longer, because I think I cut these to 17 inches, so 2 inches longer than I need them to finish up. Because on the back I'm going to put a zip through the middle, so that's going to take up 1 inch of fabric, and on the front I'm actually going to cut it and add a piece of piping for decoration straight across there like that. But let's make up the piping first of all. So I have it's 1/4 inch piping. You can get thinner, you can get thicker. This one I thought would be nice for the cushion. I think we do 1/4 inch and 1/8 of an inch on the website, and they're in nice big 25-meter rolls. I think they're quite long. And I've cut my fabric into strips. Now there is a math to cutting the right width of fabric depending on the width of your piping, but I'm not following that. I'm just going to wrap my fabric around the piping, sew it, and then trim it down to the width that I want. And I find that's quite easy to do. So literally wrap this over the edge, have the raw edges meeting, and I'm going to sew quite close to the piping, not right up to the piping, but maybe, you know, just 1 millimetre or 1/16 of an inch away from the edge of the piping. We're going to sew all the way down there. So I will need to pop my zipper foot on the sewing machine. So let's drop that one off, pop that one on, and I'm not pinning or anything as we sew. I find it easy to just kind of wrap this around as we go. And again, this will need trimming down. That foot doesn't look quite, it must be. Let's move this needle over a little bit. So if I press the stitch width on a straight stitch on my machine, and most domestic sewing machines, that'll move the needle over a little bit. And we're just going to sew all the way down, just wrapping that as we go. Now if you've cut your fabric to the exact width for the piping, you'll need to make sure that you match these raw edges perfectly. This I'm going to trim down because I know that it's too wide. So if it does go a little bit skew-iff, then that's not really going to matter. I'm going to lengthen the stitch a little bit actually, because this isn't a seam, so we can make that a little bit longer. Although I don't know about on your machine, obviously, but on this one, if I lengthen the stitch, it slows it down a bit, which is a little bit frustrating. Piping is to soak in water, let dry, so when you wash the covers, piping won't shrink. That's a good idea, because I have had that happen to me before. So kind of like a pre-wash Sheila. Tina, yes I do, I'm sorry about that. It's not nice to listen to somebody when they've got a cold, is it? Hi Donna, she's missed the lives lately, but she's in now. Just while you're watching that, I'm going to refresh Facebook again because I'm still not getting any messages. Okay. I like piping, particularly on plain fabric. You know, like when Kim put the piping, it's the same size of piping on the brim of the hat. It just gives it a really professional finish, doesn't it? It's really nice, I think. Thank you, Tina. Christine, I'm fine. Love to sew piping, says Chris Ann. Ordered an Ujanome machine. So watching for project ideas. Elizabeth made a piping for a toaster cover and a mixer cover. Oh, well done. My fabric's way longer than my piping, so I'm hoping I've got enough now. Let me cut that down. I'm hoping that's going to be long enough. Right, almost in that one, and then I'll do the shorter one as well. And we'll put the shorter one in first. So again, just like before, this is one that's going to go straight across my cushion cover, just to add a little bit of fancy, a little bit of detail to it. The zippy foot, yes, it gets the needle close to the edge of the fabric, or to where you want it to be. Zipper feet don't have a side, or they've only got one side on them, so you can get the needle really close. And as I pointed out earlier, if you have a computerized sewing machine, more often than not, if you use the stitch width button on your sewing machine, it moves the needle from left to right, which means that you can get really close to whatever it is you wanted to sew. So not just for putting in zips, and in fact I tend not to use it for putting in zips generally. But they're also really good if you're sewing things like you're making a bag flap and you've got a fastener, magnetic snap or something like that, and as you're approaching it, you see that as you're top stitching, your machine foot is going to hit it. So if you put your zipper foot on, you can get really close without actually hitting metalwork and things like that. Okay, nearly went. So let's take the front of the cover. We'll do the back with the zip in a bit. And I say it's a little bit too big, but I would kind of like my piping to be maybe a third of the way across. Okay, so I'm going to fold that over where I want it to be. I'd normally use my rotary cutter for this, but I haven't got a big mat down here. And I'm going to cut across there. We should be getting these scissors back in stock this week as well, by the way. The Core Bond ones. Right, now you may have seen when I sew zips in. Oh, I need to trim these down, sorry, I forgot about that. I sew one side and then the other side. I'm going to trim that down so it's about 1/2 inch away from the piping. Away from the piping cord. And this needs to be quite straight because the edge of this is going to be your seam allowance basically. So if you wanted to measure that and make it a perfect width, then feel free, but we can do this by eye. I need to do that on the big long piece as well. Right. When I sew a zip in, I'll sew one bit at a time so I can see where I'm going. So that's what I'm going to do here. So the first time this is going to be sewn on, I'm going to sew it along the same line that I've sewn here. That's a little bit wrinkly. I should have maybe cut that on the bias. I thought we'd be okay on this one. So let's take this over to the machine. Line up the edges together. In fact, I'm going to get a little bit inside that stitch line, but not right up to the piping. So line the edges up together here, and so. And again, you can pin if you want to. I tend not to with things like this because it's just as easy to just line up the edges and then sew. Okay. So we have this, and then I'm going to sew on the second half from this side so I can see where the stitch line is. I mean, you can feel this as you're sewing, to be honest, and this time I'm going to sew as close to the piping as I can. So I'm going to move the needle right over this time, using the stitch width button. So I'm really close to the piping. I don't want to sew through it, ideally, but right next to it. So I'm lining up the edges of the two pieces of fabric whilst sewing right up against the piping. Can you see what I'm doing? I've got my hand in the way. I'm folding the fabric over the piping so I can feel it at the same time as I can see it and sew it. And the thing is with piping, if you're not close enough, if you're not happy with it, at this point when you open it up, you can just go back and sew again a little bit closer. So that's my piping strip across the cushion. So a little tip for you, because we're going to be sewing piping around the edge next, which is going to cause quite a bit of bulk in the ends here. So what I'm going to do is to snip that off, not right up to the fabric. I'm just going to undo a few stitches right at the end here so I can grab hold of the piping, and I'm just going to cut a bit of it away. Where are you? It's almost the same colour as the fabric, so it's quite difficult to see. Where have you gone? There we go. Come here. So let's pull it out a little bit and chop that off so that the very end of my my fabric, it hasn't got the piping inside it. So hopefully that won't overlap the second lot of piping that we're going to put around. So again, let's just cut that down a little bit. Move my rubbish out of the way. Let's snip into the stitches on the end. Oh, just cut down that a bit. And expose the piping cord. Let's just peel that back and pull it out a little bit. Another reason why you don't sew through the string itself. Chop that off. And then when we pull that back again, the end bit hasn't got any cord in it, so it's going to sit quite flat. Right, that needs a press. Have a look at some of your comments. I'm missing you. I tore it in. No, it's not on the bias, Zell. I'm thinking I should have done. I thought it'd be okay because it's all straight lines, but I think that might be why it's wrinkling a little bit, and it might have made it better when we go around the corners, but we'll see. But to be honest, it's more cost effective to cut in straight lines than it is to cut on the bias, which is why I did that. Oh, thanks, Jules. Be fine. Let's struggle with piping on the corners of cushions. So Julie is watching with interest. I can't even scroll up now. Oh, have we cut the piping fabric back on the other bias? And I'm going to do that now, Debbie. Thank you, Susie. Hello. Oh, another Susie. Oh no, same Susie in Cornwall. Hello. Oh no, hello again. Try to make fine leather pipe and it twisted. How can I combat that? I'm just thinking. I don't know. I've not done that, but maybe cutting on the bias again. Check with the dentist. They won't take me the bag cold. Oh, Marion, I've thought about that. Tuesday, I'm going in. I don't mind not. Made piping for a toast to go. Oh, that's Elizabeth. I've read that one already. Hello, Dominica. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to double check. I've got enough to go around. Ooh. Do you know, I thought I cut that a little bit short. Might just meet. Let's see how we go. Oh, now I need to cut this down to size, don't I? So now I've put the two pieces together. Sorry, I am just going to blow my nose, so have a look at that. That's better. If my nose gets redder and redder, you know why. I need to cut this down to my 15 inches square. So that'll be why the piping wasn't quite long enough. Mind you, it's only half an inch. So if you weren't watching right at the beginning, I cut the width to the width that I want it to be. I cut the length 2 inches longer to allow for this cutting and the seams there. So now I need to trim it down so it's 15 inches square, which is going to be the size I want for my cushion pad. Because with a half-inch seam allowance, that will take it down to 14 inches square, so that's the size of my cushion. So I'm just going to cut half an inch off the bottom of that. Somebody suggested that earlier. I'm going to blame my grandson. It's taken a few days to catch up with me, but I never go anywhere. So because I was thinking earlier, you catch a cold, don't you? You haven't been anywhere to catch one from. Don't even go shopping these days. All right. Do everything online. I don't know about you. Thank you. Is it IoT? IoT? Okay, now then. I'm just going to switch the iron on. Actually, I did say that needed a press, and it probably won't be quite so wrinkly if I press it. What do I have to do to get my half-yard discount off my fabric order? If you go, Joan, I can't give you the discount code now, because anybody could use it then, but if you go to the Half Yard Sewing Club's Facebook page and have a look under About Me, the code is there. There's actually a picture of the overnight bag. There's a yellow bag, and that's the post, and the code is there. And then when you go to the Debbie Shaw Sewing website, when you go to checkout, there's a coupon box, so just type the word in there and you'll get your discount. When you join together, is that when you join the ends together, Carol, or when you're joining the binding together? I can show you the ends in just a minute. Sheila says, love how you can just cut a straight line with scissors. Mine would be super wavy. I think that might be 100 years of practice. Oh, it's on the blog tab. Sorry, Joan. It's excuse me. It's on the blog page on the Half Yard Club website. So let me just give this a quick press. Have we got steam? Maybe not. That's better. Oh, just need to trim down the other piping. I don't think we need that on. Cold, I think, is 3 days coming, 3 days home, 3 days going. Oh, is that right? I've not heard that one, Bernadette. That kind of makes sense. Right, let's trim this down. This may take a while because it's really long. You can buy a tool to help you with this. It's a Simplicity Easy, as in EZ. And Kim was using it to make the piping for her hat, and I was saying we must see if we can get hold of some of those for the website. I don't know if they still make them. I wish they did. But anyway, that would make life a lot easier and a lot more accurate. But we don't have any, so we're doing it with a pair of scissors. Again, you could use your rotary cutter and rule if you prefer. Like watching paint dry, isn't it? Old Biz, I'd get it all over again. Given a chance. My nose getting redder. I've got so much makeup on. Right. Okay, now we're going to start at one end, and I like to start in the bottom, at the bottom. And I'm going to start sewing a couple of inches from the end of the fabric. Let's move that rule right out of the way. And again, I find it easier not to pin. I'm going to sew along that same line again, so not too close to the piping. And as I come up to the corner, I'm going to stop about here, and I'm going to snip into the seam allowance like that, not through the stitches, but just into the seam allowance, all the way around the corner. And we need to do that on all four sides. When I'm not sounding so blooming ill, I shall do a YouTube video of this one. So I'm going to move the needle back over that way a little bit. And again, just line up the edge with the edge of the fabric. And normally you'd stop about here, because I can see where the corner is now. Leave the needle down, lift the foot up, and just snip into all of these. And then when you come to sew this, I'm going to stop about the same seam allowance away from this edge, turn this around, and then just pull it around the corner. You'll never have a perfectly square corner. So if I'd have cut this on the bias, I wouldn't get the wrinkles in the corner there. Mine has wrinkles a little bit. If I do a YouTube video, I shall do it properly and spend more money on the fabric. I was purely being cost conscious, because I've actually got these strips of fabric already from a previous project. So I thought I'll just use those. I shan't cut it on the bias. Because you can buy pre-made piping. Let me just see if so I'm just wheeling my chair back to see if I've got some here. Yeah, I've got some red. So this is pre-made. We've got this on the website, and it's on the bias, and it's made from quite a stretchy fabric. So as you go around the corners, you don't get the wrinkles on the corner there, and then you don't have to go through all of this method of actually making it up. If you've got a specific colour that you want to use or a contrast, that would look nice with that canvas, that new canvas, wouldn't it? The red. But if you want a specific fabric, obviously you're going to have to make it. But if you wanted a quick way, then you can buy pre-made already. Is it Lemsip time?
This gin and tonic's really hot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have you got a cold?
Fine.
I haven't noticed.
Fine. Better move that before I knock it off, hadn't I? Right. So again, oh no, I wanted that one. When you come up to a short way for it, so you know where the corner is. Needle down, foot up. Let's snip into these. And then as far as you can, up to about ½ an inch away from the edge. Lift it up, turn it around, and then we'll carry on. I'm trying to get that fabric nice and straight, because I apologise, it is twisting, entirely my fault for being stingy, basically. So I'll carry on sewing all around there, and I'll show you how we overlap when we get to the other end. My coaster Alana was made for me by Sandra. She made me two because I could never find anything to put my coffee on, and my table stains ever so easily down here. So she embroidered those and sent them to me, which is very sweet of her. Sip the fabric on the piping on the corners to ease it better. Sip the fabric. I'll sip me coffee in a minute. What do I have to? Oh, sorry. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I have to keep refreshing to see your comments because normally they scroll up as you place your comments, and they're not. It seems to be stuck. So if I'm missing you, I'm sorry. Send the post again. Screen's gone blank now. Oh, it's just one of those times, isn't it? Mind you, I did have a little bit of good fortune this morning. Oh, thanks, Leanne. She loves my spring collection book. Thank you. No, Carol, it's taken my mind off it. I'm absolutely fine. Yes, Barbara, as long as it doesn't sound awful. Hot whiskey and lemon. Oh, Laura. Oh, I hate whiskey. Oh, I couldn't drink that. Don't do what I did. I couldn't find it because I forgot to log in. Okay. Suzanne, email me on the website, which is enquiries@debbieshawsewing.com. If you forgot to put your discount code in, then let me know because I can kind of go back and refund it. Got to get you 10%, haven't you? Oh, that's just going to be long enough. It's like it was planned. Oh, I was saying my bit of good fortune. We've kind of been having bad luck with cars recently. Still haven't found the keys. But I drove down to the office the other day in Gary's car because he's got a big one and I've got loads of fabric to take down there. And a warning light came up. So there we go. There's a battery light come on. So I had a look in the manual and it said, do not drive this car. So I called the AA and he said, right, we'll charge the battery up as much as we can, but your alternator's gone. Do not drive it past the garage. So straight to the garage on a Monday bank holiday and leave it there. So do not pass go. So we're one car down. My car that I lost the key with has got something funny going on the dashboard, so that's booked into the garage, but I couldn't get it in for 2 weeks, so that's another car down. I've still got my old car. You know when you buy a new car and you sell your old one, we never got around to selling the old one. So it sat on the driveway and it's not insured. So this morning, last night I tried to phone Direct Line, who we're with, and sat on the phone listening to the most awful music for an hour. So I gave up. So I phoned again first thing this morning and got a very pleasant lady. And I just said I wanted to reinsure this car for a couple of weeks. And she said, there's something wrong with the system. It's not letting me take a payment from you. Just hang on a second. I need to go and talk to my boss. And she came back and she said, there is a glitch on the system. It's not allowing me to take payment. In fact, it wants to give you a refund and there's nothing I can do about it. So I got £119. They said they had to honour it because I said, can I insure all of the cars on that policy, please? So I'm getting paid for insuring a car. So I was really chuffed. Anyway, what's on Sunday afternoon? I don't know, Connie. Are you talking to me? I don't know what is on Sunday afternoon. Am I doing something on Sunday afternoon? I don't know. Just got in from work, missed most of this. Oh, we can watch it, but it's not the best, Sharon, because I'm sewing wrinkly fabric and I've got a cold, so I don't sound great. Right. Let's figure out the best way I can show you this. Literally just enough. It does. Oh no, that one. This string does fray like mad, but don't worry about that. Cut this on the bias and it won't twist. And I keep saying that, you know. So we want these two to. We want the fabric to overlap, but we want the ends of the cord to meet, to bump up against each other. So I'm going to, that's about the centre. I'm going to cut one side so that the piping is right at the end of the fabric. And this side, I'm going to undo the stitches down here. I have no idea where my quick unpick is. I never use it, so nose growing again. I normally have a few knocking about. Just not when you need them. I'll use my scissors. Where'd they come from? Oh, sorry. So let us unpick a few of these stitches. Pinocchio. I'm amazed, Lisa, that my nose doesn't reach the end of the garden by now. Right. And there. Just going to refresh Facebook again while you're watching me doing the most tedious of jobs. Right. So you see where I've cut the one end off so that the piping's there. I want, and forget about the fabric for a minute, I want the ends of the piping to meet. So I folded the fabric back out of the way, and I'm going to cut the piping so that the ends just butt up against each other like that. And then this side of the fabric, just take away the bits. No, I shan't. I'm just going to fold the end over. Now that does tend to twist and move a little bit. So I'm going to use my glue pen. Sorry, just a sec. I'm just going to use my glue pen to just go across the edge there. I wasn't even going to mention I'd got a cold, you know. I didn't want you to think, well, I don't know what I didn't want. So I folded the end of the fabric over. I think it's quite obvious though, isn't it? I must sound awful. And make the two ends of the piping meet again, but overlap that bit. Okay, so fiddle around with it a bit. If it helps, again, if you don't rush out and buy these if you don't have one, but if you want to put a little bit of glue across the end of that and just glue it in place for now to hold it, because it's difficult to pin something like that. And then we'll carry on sewing across there, so you'll have a nice, neat little C that you can't see because mine's gone all wrinkly. So let's do that. So just, again, make those two pieces meet and sew straight across the end. Ooh, that sounded a bit odd. And there's the join. So you barely see it. You can, if you wanted to, hand sew around that. I don't really see the point. It's not going to come undone. Did the key back? No, because I did try this jean with a key, because I've got a keyless car. And if you didn't know the story, which is ongoing for months, I went to the office. I'd got Bobbin with me, but when I was leaving, I opened the car with said key, let Bobbin in, then couldn't find the key. And I was there for ages trying to find it, and it was actually on a Wednesday before I did a live, so I had to get back. So Gary drove all the way down there. You know, this is an hour and 15 minutes away. He drove all the way down to pick me up, and still haven't found it. This is months ago. But with the key that he brought down, we tried how far away from the car you have to be for the car to start. And if you're standing outside the car, it will start, because it'll pick up that there's a key in the vicinity. So all the posters in the boot. So if the key was in there, the car would have started, because the key would be in the car. No idea. No idea. I'm blaming the neighbours. I think somebody pinched it. Let me just go back through your messages again. Jan, I'll do a proper video when I'm not so bunged up, because this isn't very nice to listen to, I know. So I will do a proper one. No red nose, luckily. Oh, I do, Elizabeth. I suffer with rosacea, actually. I get a red face. But yes, my nose is very red. I was just thinking the more I blow my nose, the redder it's going to get. Okay. Need to put the zip in the back. Oh, we've been here for ages, haven't we? It's 5 o'clock. I haven't even got the zip in yet. So that's the piping bit, but we do need to see the two pieces sewn together. So I'm going to fold my fabric in half and cut it. Remember, these are too long they're the width that I want for the cushion cover, but they're too long. And I'm just going to sew a simple seam. So I need to put my standard foot back on the machine. I'll need that again in a bit. What camera am I on? Wrong one. Okay. And my zip. I know we brought zips down. I don't know what I've done with them. That one will do. So these pieces of fabric cut in half. Hello, Deborah from Peru. And there's my zip. I don't want the zip ends on this. So I need to, for the zip opening obviously. So I need my zip opening to probably be from about here. So I'm just going to do this by eye. You can measure it accurately if you wanted to. So I'm going to line up the edges. And with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, I'm going to sew a little bit down here with a regular stitch length, back tack, and then make my stitch length the longest it can possibly be down to about here, back tack, back to a regular stitch, because these stitches over the zip are going to be they're going to be unpicked. Although I've lost my unpicker. There must be one in one of these bowls somewhere. Never mind, we'll do it with scissors. So much easier with an unpicker. That I've got all these boxes that I make just full of stuff everywhere. There's bound to be one in one of these boxes somewhere, or in my little shopping basket. Do you get like this? I am organised, as in I've got boxes all over the place, but never in the one that I'm looking in. Ribbons and tweezers and a bit of fabric in that one. Nope. Must be on the floor somewhere. Right, let's get this in. So, seam first. Try the exploding box. Oh, good idea. I'm not even getting up to do this. It's great having wheels on a chair. Lorna, how did you know? Look! Oh, trapped on my wires. A little exploding box, which is one of Half Yard Club projects. Ta-da! All and sundry in there. Oh, in you go. Thank you. Let's get this sewn. I was only going to do a short one today, and look at us, we're over an hour. So, regular stitch length, so I'm on 2.4. I'm going to sew a little way down, do a back stitch. Lengthen up to the longest stitch, which is 5 on this machine, and sew down to about 2 inches from the opposite end. Oh, what's going on there? I've got a very wrinkly fabric. Reason being, I ran out of bottom thread, so it's pulling it up from the top. Oh no, no, it's the top. It's got caught. Oh, right. Always a good reason. So I can still use that. This is a really old bobbin. It just happened to be the same or the right colour thread, but I shan't use that again. Throw that away. Let's try this one. Even longer at this rate, aren't we? Let me refresh problematic Facebook again so I can read your comments. It's even taken ages to refresh. Okay, so let's carry on with that line. 2 inches from the end, back down to 2.4, reverse, and carry on. And then we're going to have a sip of coffee. Hi Mary, I'm late as well today. Julie and Janet and Jill, hello. Crumb quilting technique. Oh, thank you, replying to somebody else that I missed. Thank you, Laura. Oh, I love it when you talk amongst yourself. I think a lot of you have made like, we used to call them pen pals, didn't we? I don't know, what would you call them? When I was younger, I had a pen pal, and mine was called Brigitte, and she lived in Paris. And then he did school exchanges to go and see them. And I had another pen pal called Anne in Wales, which is a girl that we met on holiday. So you wrote to them, because there was no internet back in those days. But when you meet somebody online, like you lot, do you keep in touch? And you're not pen pals because you don't write anything. What are you called? Right. Hi, Dave. Dave's joining in and says hi. Lisa says hi. Have you got my ironing pad in your shop? Janet, yes, but not the one that I've got. I think we've got the black and gold ones at the moment. I'm not sure if we've got those on order. A text pal. That'll do, Anne. Wendy's going to make tea. See you on Saturday. Don't know what we're doing on Saturday. Thank you, Wendy. Right, what did I do with my little pad? I'm going to press the seam open. So I'm just waiting for the iron to heat up a little bit. Don't know how you can use this. I couldn't. Oh, it takes me ages, Jill, to thread a machine without the self-threader. Use it all the time. Sounds like somebody has the nerve of walking past our house. Robin's obviously outside. Okay, seam open. And then we're going to place our zip facing downwards. I've done this loads of times before, by the way, so don't feel you have to stay all the way through if you've seen it all before. I'm going to use a glue pen to hold it in place because it's easier and quicker than pinning. We've got these back in stock on the website, by the way. We haven't got the refills on their own at the moment, but we have got the glue pens back in stock. So that's going to go face down over here. Glue all over the place now. Right, so I'm just going to move that down a little bit and close the ends of the zip at the top of it. And I'm just going to give that a second to stick. And then I like to sew around it from the top because that's the bit that you're going to see. Recommend any special fabric to make the hat. This one Kim made from, I did bring that to show you. I just didn't show you. She's the new denim that we've got on the website, which is a cream denim. This would make a really nice denim summer skirt, wouldn't it? You know, like the one that we did for the Half Yard Club in pale blue. But it's got a stretch, so it's going to be really comfy. It's quite a stretchy fabric. So she's used that. She said this morning, actually, when she was making it, she said, I could have used the cream canvas for that as well. That would have been nice. And on this side, she's used the Hannah's Flowers, Lewis and Irene fabrics, but patchworked them. So she patchworked all the fabrics together, then put the pattern on the top, and then she's put piping around the inside as well, which could be the outside because it's a reversible hat. I think if you're just going to use cotton on its own, I'd put some interfacing like a G700 onto the wrong side of it to give it a bit of structure. If you're going to use a canvas or a denim fabric, you won't need that because it's quite a firm fabric. So yeah, and any kind of woven fabric, cotton or canvas, no problem. Oh, thank you, Bez. Never had success with piping. The one time I tried, there was more ripping than stitching. Wendy had an American pen pal and innocently told her I collected rubbers. She said her father thought I probably meant erasers. Right. I love that little iron, Zell. Thanks, Laura. Yeah. We've got a good price on the website as well, comparatively. So, now that's stuck down a little bit, I'm just going to sew. You can feel where the zip and where the zip tape is. So I'm going to sew around in a box. And I do have a lump where the slider is. and I'm going to unpick a little bit of fabric around there as I approach it to get it out of the way. So I'm actually going to start sewing just underneath where the slider is. So I'll start about here, and let's sew. So the bit that I'm unpicking with the longer stitches, and I can actually see those because when you part them you can see them coming apart. So when I get to the end of those, you can't see a thing, can you? I'm going to stop, oops, put my needle down, go across the bottom, and then back down this side again. And again, I'm sewing from this side rather than the zip side because I can see this nice neat box that I'm making. And I'm just pulling the fabric away from the zip. Now I've come up to the slider. I'm going to take a quick unpick, lift that up, and just undo some of the stitches so I can get that slider out of the way. There it is. I'm going to hook that through the end and just push it down there. And then I'm not going to get a wobbly line as I sew around it because I'm not actually sewing around it. Back to this bit, straight across the bottom, and then back down to meet where I started. Like so. No, Sheila, that's not on our website. We do. She downloaded it, I think. She bought it from somewhere. But we do have a bucket hat pattern. I think it's still there on the Half Yard Club if you're a Half Yard Club member. But no, I don't know where she got that one from. It was a free download, but I don't know where it came from. Anyway, that's that. That needs another press, but I'll do that later on because we're way over time. Then take your quick unpick and just undo all of the rest of those stitches. That is so satisfying. To reveal the zip, and at that end you'll have lots of little bits that you need to pick off or use your lint roller or something, and there you've got your zip perfectly sitting behind the fabric because it was joined up, so you can't help but get the perfect zip when you do it that way. I'm going to leave the zip open, shake off some of those bits. Take the first side that we did with the piping, and these are going to go right sides together, so make sure the zip's open because you need to turn this through. And again, that is a little bit too long, but I can cut that down later. And I'm just going to put a few pins in there to hold it in place. One time when I do think lots of pins are going to help, just to keep it all flat and stop it from twisting as we're sewing. And then this time when I go around the edge, because I'm sewing from this side, I can see where the piping is. So just like we did with the piece that goes straight across, I'm going to sew just inside that stitch line as close to the actual piping as I can possibly get. So I need to put the zipper foot back on my machine again. Thank you, Geraldine. So that comes off. Need to refresh Facebook again. Hopefully this will be all right by Saturday. Now, what's going on with Facebook today? Right. Pop that under there. I'm going to move my needle across as close as I can to the piping. And then we'll sew. If I can find the foot pedal, we'll sew. A little bit closer. Now we are going to turn this through. Oh, that's another thing. I find putting the fabric under there at a slight angle helps as well. It gets really close to the piping. We are going to turn this the right side out and just make sure that we've got close enough, and if we haven't we can go back again. So I'm coming up to that corner, and again really nice and tight as you go around there. And then back down this side. See, it's not the end of the world if you don't get close enough, because we'll turn this the right side out. We'll have a look if we've got any gaps or unevenness, or if I've got, it's normally in the corners, you might not get quite right into the corner. But you can always, oh, that was a pin. You can always go back again. Come on, under you go. Words of encouragement for my piping. I don't know when I'll do the YouTube video for this. It may be on Saturday if I don't sound like this then. I have a video on YouTube for the exploding box. Not really, Helene, because that's a Half Yard Club member project and they've paid for it. And it takes a while to make, and that's the second reason. My schedule is pretty busy at the moment, so no, I'm sorry, that one's not going to happen, Helene. I know there I haven't gone quite tight enough, so I may as well just go back and do it again while I'm here. I thought my thread had come undone, couldn't see it. Green on green, that's why. So it is quite time consuming, but do take your time with this because it's worth it, because I know it's only like a plain cushion with a board around it, but it really does make a difference when it's all nice and neat and precise and even. So it may take a while, but sewing isn't quick anyway, is it? Right, around that corner, nice and tight. That's just bunched up a little bit, so I'm pushing it under. Not spiking myself. Is it 14 years, Lisa? Gosh. Must be. Then back down the final side. I think I might have missed a bit as I go around there, so we'll have a look at that before we finish up. Come on, under you go. One of the reasons I don't use a zipper foot unless really necessary, like something for this, is that they don't have the grip on them that a standard foot has, and they can tend to slip a little bit, but important on a project like this, just helping it over the very thick area here. In fact, we'll do that little bit again, that was very thick, so I'm just going to go back over that, maybe a bit slower, and ease it underneath. Go on. That will do. And again, just matching edges. Very close to the edge, this one. Too close to the edge. It's twisted a little bit on the back. I just need to unpick that one. I'll tell you what, let's turn this the right side out and I'll show you how we're doing, because we'll be here all day otherwise. So when you get to this stage, when you get to the stage that you finish sewing all the way around, pop it the right side out and just check the corners. I've missed a little bit here, look. I've not got as close as I could do to the piping there and here, so I'm going to go back again and just sew over those bits. It's normally right in the corners where you might have issues. That one's absolutely fine. I've got nice and tight up against that one. Haven't completed that one yet because I need to do a bit of unpicking, so I'll go back to that later. And let's have a look at this one. Missed a little bit there. So all you're going to do is to turn it back again. You might have to go over this quite a few times, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do it all the time. And again, it's one of those things that is worth it because you get that really nice finish. So I'm going back over again, same seam, tighter in to the piping. So then when I turn it the right side out, that's the same little area, look, but I've just sewn closer, so now it's got a really nice finish to it. So do go around all of your corners doing that. I'll do that later on and finish that up, and then you'll have an idea of how that's going to look when it's finished. I think the piece of piping going straight across the middle just gives it a little bit more interest. You don't need that, you could just leave it around the edge. On a patterned fabric, that red canvas that we had, that I showed you earlier, where's it gone? Red canvas, the floral canvas, this one. I think this style of cushion cover Might do that for the video actually when I do the YouTube. I think that with the red piping around the edge would look beautiful, and maybe just break it up with one strip through the centre as well. I think that would work really well. Yeah, I like the colour contrast, Lisa. So I guess it needs a good old press with lots of steam, I think, and then finish it off. And then of course when the cushion pad's inside it, it will be nice and snug, so it'll go nice and fat and tight and stretch out all the wrinkles as well. But I like those classy kind of colours. And you're a classy kind of lady, aren't you? So you would do. Oh, no problem, Sheila. I'm glad to have been of some help. Just going to unplug the iron. Did the zip technique on my frayed quilting cushion, so easy, and it looks great. It's really simple, isn't it? It's not the kind of technique that you'd use in dressmaking, but for cushion covers, it's perfect. Okay, I'm just going to refresh Facebook again because I can't see your recent comments. Nancy says, since I've been watching Debbie for years, I love adding piping. It truly adds to your project. It's easy when you watch out personal pro, Nancy. I don't think I've been called a personal pro before. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. So I will do, when I don't sound like this anymore, I will do a dedicated non-chat video about piping. Thanks, Leanna. Sheila says, where are from shish? Don't you love spell check? Oh, thank you, Sarah. A hot toddy and early to bed. Oh, I've still got work to do. Go and rest up. Oh, no, not yet. Don't you feel worse when you stop? Okay, I think that's everybody. Oh, Alicia in Mexico, it's a pleasure, no problem at all. I don't know what we're doing next week. What about a bit of bias binding next Wednesday? And I still need to think of a project for Saturday, so I'm a little bit behind there. Thank you, Gina. Helene's ordered her Union Jack. Thank you. Maybe I'll make something. Oh, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I should have remembered that. Kim was saying yesterday while we're at the office. She says, "Wouldn't it look like? Has anybody got my Sew Outdoor Living book? There's table settings and cushions and things like that, or things to decorate your outside space in. Basically, I haven't got a copy here to show you, but there's one. It's a party table setting. And there's little plant pots with sticks in, with hearts, fabric stuffed hearts just on them, and you just kind of place them on the table. And she says that would look nice in the red, white, and blues to decorate tables if you're having a street party this year, or even if you're not, if you're not even having a party, if you just want to decorate the table. So I thought I guess I should get hold of one of those books because I don't have a copy of it, and we'll make something. We'll make a table decoration on Saturday. I think that would be nice. And thank you, Wendy. And thanks, Sue. And see you Wednesday, not Saturday. Okay, I'll see you next Wednesday. And maybe we'll do bias binding next Wednesday, shall we? Because it's kind of on the same kind of thing. Gary spoils me rotten, Sarah. I am very lucky. Oh, Nancy's got the book. You could sew along if you like. Oh, thank you, Jayoti. Zakiah says, thanks so much, Ms. Debbie. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much. What does MOHZT mean? No idea. Not very good with stuff like that. Okay, then I shall see you on Saturday morning at oh, that wasn't nice. Sorry, at 11 o'clock for table decorations. And if you can't make it on Saturday, I shall see you again next Wednesday at this time for bias binding. I think I might go and put something in this actually. Brandy. I don't like brandy. I like brandy. Something. Lucozade, something. Righty-ho, I shall see you again on Saturday. Take care, enjoy the rest of your week, and thanks for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.